Hello my sun, moon, and rising Taurians, welcome to my channel. Tonight I'll be doing your reading for the first half of November 2018. This is a generalized reading, so if you're interested in a reading, you can email me with the email I have below, or you can book a reading off of my website, and I'll put that below too. I hope everyone is enjoying their Samhain/Halloween. For tonight I'll be using two divination tools. The first one is the Tarot of the Nymphs. And I see at the bottom there is the Seven of Swords, and I did shuffle this after I did my other reading before this. So this is the Seven of Swords again, and this is more of acceptance and moving forward. And we'll get into the reading to see what that's about. And I'm also using my runes. So I'll be pulling out runes for this reading too. And that'll be towards the end of it. I didn't pull out any cards, so you can skip this part. Sometimes it takes a little bit. And I don't turn the cards over until I pull out all the cards. On occasion, a card comes out, or it flips over as I'm shuffling, or even when I'm putting the card down. So that's an indication that, it can be an indication that that card is an important card for this reading, for the reading. So your subconscious, you have the Ace of Swords, and this is, for the word that I'm getting for this is response, so wanting to hear from somebody. And on your conscience, in your conscience position, we have the Two of Swords, which is an interesting card for this position, because this is also a position where your thoughts are, and this is definitely one where you're contemplating about things. You're not sure what to do. Traditionally, you would see the figure in this card blindfolded, so that could be more of looking within or not seeing the bigger picture. But by her stance, it does look like she's more guarded. So maybe there's something that isn't going well with you, and maybe that's the acceptance part of it. Maybe something that you're anticipating and you're wanting to see if it's going to pan out in a certain way. Again, this is a generalized reading. You can take what connects with you, and then you don't have to listen to the rest. And even cooler, the one that was at the bottom of the deck is now in your further feature, which is the Seven of Swords. So this is getting the message directly, and this is direct line of communication, and then leaving it behind. So this can be a lot of times a good sign for you, especially if what you had in the past wasn't the best for you. And it doesn't necessarily mean that what you had was bad, but you can have something that's more suited for you. So the karmic card is the Two of Pentacles. So this is understanding where your priorities lie. This is trying to grow a plant in an area that isn't as fertile as you want it to be. So maybe you need to put more nutrients in the soil and help it grow, or maybe you need to go somewhere else where you know that it's going to be more helpful for you to grow, or for someone around you to grow. In the present, you have the Two of Cups, and this is duality for me for this reading. This is more of a generous flow I'm getting. I'm getting the infinity sign, and I'm seeing the flow, and it does have what looks to be a lion, which is on the strength card, and strength can be 8 in the major arcana, because it does switch off between the strength card, or the strength card switches off numerically with the justice card sometimes, depending on the deck. And your overall energy that's on top of the Two of Cups is the Hermit card. So this is, for me, I feel like you're going to find your answers if you look more deeper into it, which with the Two of Swords, you may be doing this, or you may need to do it. In your past, you have the Queen of Pentacles. Maybe making the right choices in your past, or maybe making the wrong choices. I feel like it's going like teeter-totter, like both ways, and it's kind of like weighing out. Even though this happened, it's a matter of perception. And maybe the other person involved is seeing it as a different way. So this, I feel like, is a maternal instinct. I do feel like it represents you. This is a court card, so there's the page, knights, queens, and kings of the court cards, and they can represent people, or they can represent energy in general. I do feel like this represents you in your past. I'll pull out 3 cards for that one. Again, this doesn't have to pertain to a relationship, but that's what I'm getting for this. Or maybe it involves someone else in your life. So in the past, you have the 10 of Pentacles. In the present, you have the Ace of Pentacles. And in the future, you have the 10 of Cups. So it's interesting how you have both 10s, and those are at the end of the suit. So it's 1 through 10, and then the court cards. And this could be the ending of a cycle, is what I'm getting. And it can be having to do with certain family members or relationships. Maybe somebody is going off and venturing off on and doing their own thing, going and moving to a different state. Maybe your kid's going to college, maybe you're going to college, things like that. I do feel like there's movement in this reading. And a lot of times when I see the Ace of Pentacles, I feel like there's unlimited potential. There is a limited potential because it is the starting point of the suit. So it can be anything. But I am linking it to the 2 of Pentacles. They are next to each other in the suit. And so with this, I feel like this is where you're going to figure out what's practical and what's not practical. And what you did in the past, maybe it was good, maybe it wasn't so good, depending on how you're looking at it. I do feel like there's going to be a shift in perspective, though, because in this circumstance, I do feel like there was something that was done that wasn't definitely not in somebody else's favor, and maybe there could have been an argument. And although there are feelings that are valid, the actual actions where I feel like they're over the top, or they're something that shouldn't have been done or shouldn't have been said. So I'll leave it at that. And the environment card, I'm going to link it to the subconscious card, and that links to the 2 of Swords. We have the 6 of Cups. So this is leaning more to your past. And your past, and linking it to your environment, I am getting that it can be energy or a person that has been in your life and that has influenced you, or you've known for a long time, or some type of experience, or maybe a job that you've had for a long time, and so forth. So this is coming into the future. I'm not saying that what's from the past is coming from the future, but what's the lesson is still having to be taught, is what I'm getting. And I don't think that there's a good or bad reading, nor do I think they're good or bad cards necessarily, although there are some cards that you would want to see in your reading. But even for the ones that can be perceived as bad, you can want to see those in the reading depending on the context of the reading too. So I'm seeing this as more personal growth, and that can definitely go a long way, and you elevating yourself to do more things. So in the past we have the Knight of Wands, and with the position of the horse and the Knight, I am getting that there's a reluctancy, that there was a stop and a sudden stop. And I am feeling that strongly with the Ace of Swords. And then in the present, we have a lot of aces in this reading. So the Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, and Ace of Wands. So for the present, there's a lot of things that you can do. The wands can be linked to passion. It can be linked to spirituality. It can be linked to action in some way. It can be linked to even certain lines of communication. So there is a duality with air and fire, and sometimes decks do change that up with the air element of air being with the wands and the fire element being with the swords. So I am getting that it's a bit of a combination for that too. So in the future, and I'm getting immediate future, this is the Seven of Pentacles. And this is putting the work in. So this is a good card to have to make other things happen. For your hopes or fears, you have Temperance. And this is a card that I do feel like is going to be the best card for you. And this will be a level of acceptance within yourself and to be calm and to be balanced. Generally, this card, or traditionally, this card does have fire behind an angel's head. We have a nymph in this card because it's the Tarot of the Nymphs. But the fire represents, it can represent mindset. It's more of putting the effort in yourself. And fire does transform no matter what it touches. So if you change your mindset and put it into action, it's going to change. And it'll change for the better. So this is a really good card to have. I'm going to pull out 3 cards for that one. And I am linking it into the Magician card. And this is an important message because, as I said, I usually wait towards the end to flip cards, but I flipped all of these. So this is the Death card, and these are ongoing cycles, and for this, I feel like it's breaking the cycle. Another Court card, which is the Page of Cups, and I do see this as receiving. And this will go a long way with you if you start to put your efforts into different areas of your life that you feel are necessary. And in the future, if things are done, we have the Chariot, which is a major arcana card. There's a couple major arcana cards. So recent ones, we have the Death card. Temperance is a major arcana card. And again, linking to a soul purpose in your life. A soul purpose. And this is going to be control and going in a good direction. And towards the end, again, we have the Seven of Swords. And I feel like these two are going to be the most important because we did see it before I put out the spread. And taking it and leaving with the knowledge that you have. Again, swords can be a representation of knowledge. So I'm going to pull out 3 rune staves. And if you guys are familiar with the runes, you may have different names for them. So if you know them as different names, then you can use that. So in the past we have Awas. Present we have Eel. And in the future we have Manaz. So for the future, I do see this as more of independent energy and being able to be yourself. Even in the area where you're connected to other people. So it can be a good thing, and it can also, I don't want to say hold you back, but it can stop movement depending on how you take it, depending on the situation and depending on the people at hand. This is more of a society stave, so I would say that to not repeat certain actions from the past. And if you're going to stay as is, then maybe move forward from certain things that haven't had a good effect on you or other people. So in the past, we have, I would say that you put certain effort into moving, or somebody else put certain effort into moving. And this could be moving out of a situation. This could be physical movement, as I saw in the reading. And for Eel, I am getting, you can get messages, or you can learn from it. Representing horns, or you can get messages like that, and that will help you in the circumstances that you're in. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoy your holiday, and again, if you're interested in reading, I'll leave my information below. So I'll see you guys in another video. My house isn't haunted, that's just my cat.